everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey, and in today's video I want to talk about belts. I really love belts. I think they're an often underutilized accessory, and they really have the ability to add interest to even the most basic outfit. So today I want to talk about some of the things I like to look for in belts to ensure that I have maximum versatility, and then I also want to share some of the ways I like to style my belts. So I'm going to have a little bit of a mini lookbook at the end of the video. Sometimes I think it's helpful to see things utilized in real life rather than just discussed. So let's hop right in with the nitty-gritty first. Let's start things off with the two main ways I like to wear my belts. So personally, I like to wear them either around my natural waist, so roughly where my belly button is, or through the belt loops of my pants. Having those two options really give me versatility when it comes to either how I'm feeling, the general vibe for my outfit, or if I want to raise or lower the visual line. So to ensure that I have the option of wearing it in either place, I like to find belts that fit my hip area through the belt loops. And then I will add a hole to make it small enough to go around my natural waist. And I find that for me it really works. It helps stretch the amount of belts that I have, and then I'm not left with some that I can only wear one way. Another thing you want to keep in mind when looking for a belt that you can wear with many different outfits is the width. So I like either a thin or a medium width belt. I find that they go with everything and they're very easy to wear. They don't require a lot of thought. And so for me, that tends to be between a half an inch all the way to about an inch and a half. Anything too much wider than that I find restricts my movement, and for me, because I am kind of short-waisted, it kind of feels like I'm wearing a corset, so I tend to avoid those. I've had a few in my collection over the years and I never wear them, so I always end up donating or gifting them. And then anything too narrow tends to get lost. I find that especially if I wear it around my natural waist and then I sit down, it tends to disappear and it becomes uncomfortable for me. So for me, the sweet spot again is between about half an inch to about an inch and a half. Along those same lines, I like to keep my belts very simple and classic. I find that that allows for maximum versatility. I can dress them up or down that way, and I find that by picking something with a plain finish, no patterns, and a very classic buckle in a metal that I tend to wear, so for me that would be gold, is a really great way to do that. I think it's a very easy way to ensure that you have something that can be worn to work, but then also on the weekend, and it's very easy to find. That style of belt is almost everywhere at pretty much any price point. I don't think you need to spend a ton on a belt in order for it to last a really long time. In fact, one of my favorite belts was around $30, I think, which is a little bit on the pricey side, but not insane like some of the belts that I've seen. And I've had that thing for years and it just keeps on going. It gets better with age and it just looks fantastic with everything that I wear. Another style point that I think is important to keep in mind is it's nice to match your belt to your shoes and your handbag. It's not mandatory though. It is definitely fun to mix and match all of those. But the one thing I will say is very important not to overlook is matching a casual belt with casual shoes and a dress belt with dress shoes. I think it's often overlooked and it can be a little confusing. So for me personally, I tend to err on the side of slightly dressy when it comes to my belts. That way I'm not left without something that can be worn multiple ways. And if you're in a similar boat and maybe you want one belt and you want to be able to wear it both on the weekend and then to work, then look for something that is definitely slightly dressier. I'll insert some really great examples of kind of what I mean. You're going to want to keep the belt very simple, the hardware at a minimum, and you are going to want a relatively flat finish. You don't want anything too flashy or over the top, so you want to avoid like embossing or gold embossing or glitter and no prints or patterns. And I would personally definitely steer clear of designer belts in this respect. I think that they tend to scream a little too much at you, and I think that if you are looking for an option that can be worn many ways, it's better to err on the side of simple and classic rather than flashy and over the top. Now, let's say you only want one belt. Maybe you have a very small closet, or maybe you're going on vacation. You have limited luggage space, but you still want to bring a belt. I recommend finding a reversible option. These are becoming more and more popular in recent years, and they're also becoming less cheesy, and they're being very well done nowadays. And I find that it's such a great way to ensure that you have a black and a brown, for example, without having to take up extra space. So you literally just flip it to suit whatever you're wearing, your handbag, your shoes, or your outfit, and I love this. Now, if you really want to take the versatility up an extra level, you'll find one that's a perfect medium width to suit you and your personal taste and your waist length. And then you'll also find one that fits through your belt loops, and then add a hole or two maybe to make it small enough to wear around your natural waist. If you do that, you have one belt that can be worn infinite ways. I think it's so fantastic, and it's a really great way to stretch your belt wardrobe. And the last thing I want to touch on are statement belts. So I spend a lot of time on this channel talking about timeless classic accessories and clothing, and why it's great to opt for the timeless option when given to, but I think that there is a special place in everyone's wardrobe for statement pieces, and belts are one of my personal favorite areas to have fun. So if you love belts, then definitely experiment with the different silhouettes and the styles. I personally love to do this in vintage markets, so Etsy, eBay even, or just antique stores. I think that they're so great. They're a really fun way to find different colors you don't see every day, and different silhouettes and different patterns, and I'll share a few of my favorite in a bit, but they're just a really nice way to really set your personal style apart. Now let's hop into the lookbook portion. So I'm going to share some of my favorite belts and then some of my favorite ways to style them. I really hope that these inspire you to bring out your belts and wear them in new and fun ways, or maybe to realize that you're just not a belt person. If that's the case, do a nice closet declutter and then gift them to someone who will enjoy them. But I'd love to know in the comments down below some of your favorite belts, how you found them, and how you love to wear them. And like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.
Thank you.